Citi TV, we interrupt our normal programming to take you to Parliament, where the ad hoc committee set up by the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagman, to investigate a leaked tape which content suggests an alleged plot to remove the current Inspector General of Police, Dr. Akufo Dampare. Now, a first witness, a former Northern Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Daniel Bugri Nabu, who attended to the committee earlier on this week, identified or mentioned 3 police officers during his submission or whilst giving his testimony. Now, these 3 senior police officers who allegedly are involved in this particular tape will be attending to the committee's invitation this morning. And so we're crossing over to that committee sitting to bring you proceedings live from Parliament House.
But Council, did you brought your evidence act or something? I can see you are holding law books. This is a very simple interrogation now. Yes. So let's begin from Council on my right here and let it go this way until it ends here. Anti-clockwise, yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. My name is Derek Osubuatan. I'm counsel for George Alex Mensah. Alex Mensah.
Wouldn't you want to add his rank?
Yeah, COP.
Yes,
thank you.
COP, George Alex Mensah. Okay, thanks.
Mr. Chairman, Kweku Uswa. I also appear for COP George Alex Mensah.
Okay, so 2 lawyers. Mr. Chair, I am Alfred Papa Dakwa. I am for Superintendent George Akwesi Asare. There is a 3rd person. Did you come with your counsel? Okay, you're over there. All right then. Okay. So counsel for Superintendent JB.
Respectfully, Chair, I am James Gauga Nkrumah. I appear for Superintendent Eric Emmanuel JB. Thank you.
Okay, so now, COP, you can introduce yourself.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm COP George Alex Mensah.
Mr. Chair, I'm Subtenant George Lucinda Asare.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm Superintendent Emmanuel Eric JB.
I'm Gifty Jiagegoba, Assistant Clerk to the committee. Janet Frimpong, Clerk to the committee.
I'm Isaac Latiana, Technical Person to the committee.
Chairman, I'm Patrick Boama, member for Kaikwe Central and member of the committee.
James Agalga is my name, MP for Bulsa North and the Vice Chairman of this committee.
Samuel Atachia, the member of Parliament for Boko South and the Chairman of the committee.
I am Ophelia Mensah Hayford, Member of Parliament for Fantiman and a member to this committee.
Peter Lanchenetobu,
Honorable Member of Parliament for Owa West, and a member of the committee.
Eric Opoku, Member of Parliament for Sunafo South constituency, and a member of the committee.
Very good. I want to bring to your attention a few constitutional issues and matters of criminal law implications. And then when I finish with that, I yield space to my vice if he has initial comments to make. And then the tape will be played out to your hearing. Then we'll decide how we commence the interrogation. So ladies and gentlemen, if you pay regard to Article 103, it is very clear that the Parliament can run with the help of committees. And the committees have the stature of a high court. So if I read to you Article 103.3, it provides, committees of Parliament shall be charged with such functions, including the investigation and inquiry into the activities and administration of ministers, departments, as Parliament may determine, and such investigations and inquiries may extend to proposals for legislation. And then when you read 103.6 of the Constitution, it provides, and I read, a committee appointed under this article shall have the powers, rights, and privileges of the High Court or a justice of the High Court at a trial for A, enforcing the attendance of witnesses and examine them on oath. And this is what we would do, examine them on oath, affirmation or otherwise, compelling the production of documents, and issuing a commission or request to examine witnesses abroad. So your lawyers understand what it means to come before a committee of Parliament and the powers that we wield, which is analogous to what a High Court judge has. But today, as we did previously, you swear on oath. Why should you swear on oath? Because this is a very important interrogation we are about to do. And we're supposed to come out with what they call findings of fact, premise on truth. We do not have any prejudgment concerning this matter. And this is the first time I'm seeing officers from the Ghana Police Service. I've never met you in any serious engagement before, so none of us here has any malice aforethought. But it is imperative that you swear on oath and speak the truth. And your lawyers might have advised you that if you lie before this committee, you're going to provoke the Criminal Act in the area called perjury, which is to say that if the committee should find out that you have perjured yourself, that means deliberately lying on oath to deceive this committee, you will package the evidence of the perjury to the Attorney General for it to be prosecuted. So for the avoidance of doubt, let me read the portions of the Criminal Act 1960 as amended. And if you pay regard to section 210, it provides, whoever commits perjury shall be guilty of a second-degree felony. The definition section of perjury is section 211. And I quote, a person is guilty of perjury if in any written or verbal statement made or verified by him upon oath before any court or public officer or before the president or any committee thereof, he states anything he knows to be false in a material particular or which he has no reason to believe to be true. I think the lawyers understand what I'm saying. That you are comfortable to come before this committee and lie. If it is so found that you peddled falsehood in order to deceive this committee, you are in the area of perjury already. So please, these matters, I want to bring it to you so strong, so that just open up, speak the truth, and then, release you to go. Because at the end of the day, it's not in the witch hunting. It's a matter which has engaged national attention, and we want to find the truth and leave it as it is. So these are my initial remarks. As I've said already, there will be the necessity to play the tape to your hearing, and then we swear you in, and the interrogation will begin. I yield space to my vice chairman. And he used to be the Deputy Minister for Interior, was it?
Yeah.
Yes. So he understands these police matters.
Thank you, Chairman. Let me also add my voice in welcoming the witnesses and members of the public and the media. Honorable Chairman, the committee was set up by Parliament to look into a matter that is of public importance to our country. And so we are not on a frolic of our own. Our work is constitutionally provided for, and so what we're going to engage in is a very serious exercise. And that is why the witnesses who are appearing before us have the right to counsel, and as I can see, they are ably represented by a counsel. We shall accord counsel with all the courtesies that they deserve in the circumstances. Like I said, we are not on a frolic of our own. We were given specific terms of reference, and those terms of reference shall guide us in our work. One of the terms of reference that should guide this committee, first and foremost, is for us to authenticate or to establish the authenticity of the leaked audio that has gone viral. And I believe you have all, in one way or the other, heard voices on that leaked audio. 2, we shall also investigate the conspiracy to remove the current IGP. 3, the committee would then make recommendations with respect to sanctions. If, for instance, the witnesses who appear before us are found culpable, we make recommendations. We don't have the power to punish. We can only make recommendations. And so that is what the committee is about. And therefore, when you take your stance to proffer evidence, it is in the interest of all of us that you assist this committee to establish the truth. That's all. Like the chairman said, we're not here to witch hunt anybody. Ours is to establish certain basic facts, make recommendations, which recommendations would be considered by the entire House. That is the remit of our mandate as a committee. Then, of course, we'll make any recommendations which could lead to the making of reforms, law reforms with respect to police service and other relevant matters. So, Honorable Chair, these are the terms of reference which will guide us in our work. And therefore, we expect that there will be cooperation from the side of the witnesses. We have committed to cooperate. That is why we're all here, fully prepared to do justice to the issues that have been put before us. On that note, I would end here and I wish you well in your testimony before the committee. Thank you.
Very, very comprehensive, Vice Chair. Thank you very much. On this note, I invite my good friend to play the tape to the hearing of the witnesses and their lawyers. Okay, hold on. Hold on to the tape. No, after that. We can change it. Well, I've just been I'm instructed by some of the lawyers on the committee that we should swear you in at once. So administer the oath to the witnesses, and then the tape will be played. Sorry?
Jointly or individually?
Let me see. Are you all going to swear to the Bible? Let's find out their religious persuasion, and then we'll know, because they could stand together, and then when you say it, you mention
Time for the ultimate corporate sports gathering, the Citi Business Olympics 2023. Get ready to unleash your competitive spirit and showcase your athletic prowess as we bring together the best of the best from the corporate world. From traditional sports like seven-a-side football, basketball, sack race, and volleyball, to unique challenges like tug of war and arm wrestling, there's no shortage of excitement and adrenaline-pumping action. So gather your colleagues, lace up your sneakers, and get ready to compete in the Citi Business Olympics. It's time to show off your skills, build connections, and have a blast in the ultimate corporate sports extravaganza. To register your company to participate, call 0205 973 973 or 0558 973 973 now. Which company will emerge as champion, and which CEO will win the ultimate CEO's challenge at the Citi Business Olympics 2023? We will find out on the 30th of September 2023. Venue, Eden Heights Sports Complex. Wager time 8 a.m. The Citi Business Olympics 2023 is powered by Citi TV with support from Citi FM and proudly sponsored by Unicom Chemists Limited and EK Brand Consult.
I, Superintendent Emmanuel Eric J.
Swear by the Almighty God.
Swear by the Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give.
That the evidence I shall give.
Before this committee.
Before this committee.
Touching the matter in issue.
Touching the matter in issue.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
So,
This will be in English.
okay, so this morning we have a trinity of 3 Christians. They also on the Bible. That's very interesting. So Clark,
let's hear the tape.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
We would like to make some preliminary points before the committee proceeds with their work. As we introduced earlier, we represent Mr. George, COP George Alex Mensah. The invitation to appear before this committee only referred to a leaked tape of a high-ranking police officer for which he is supposed to appear before this August committee and be examined based on that invitation. So, Chairman, we were not given the benefit of the tape which he was to answer questions on prior to our attendance here this morning. And so, in a way, will hamper our preparation, his preparation to answer the questions which will be asked in that regard. And even more important, Mr. Chairman, the terms of reference of this committee was never made known to the person who has been invited, so that he's able to factor and shape his evidence in line with what this committee is looking for. I've noticed that the honorable member for Busa made mention of the term of reference of the committee. We have not been officially given a copy of the terms of this committee. So, Mr. Chairman, at this point, we will ask to be given a copy of the terms of reference of the committee so that our client will be able to know what exactly the committee is investigating, which will help us assist the committee properly. So this is our first preliminary point. We are grateful.
Well, it's like you're saying that you want to see a charge sheet before, they start the evidence. It's not like that here. He's not being charged with anything. There's no offense that we have found against him. The terms of reference is to guide the members of the committee to do the work assigned us by the respected speaker. And the terms of reference does not contain anything which would do injury to the testimony of your client. There's no surprise in it. There's nothing in it that we seated here will do some ambush litigation that if you didn't read it, then will lead you into a blind alley for some matters to go against your client. So with the greatest of respect, we could give you the terms of reference, but the terms of reference, it's not going to affect what he's saying. The terms of reference is supposed to help us. And you see, you needn't even, be given the tape in advance before you speak to it. Because we didn't know the full extent of anybody's involvement until the tape was played and the witness who appeared before us, the first witness, said, these are the individuals who were engaged with the matter. So now, what should we do? How could we give it to you in advance if we didn't know who were on the tape? We couldn't give it to you in advance. All that happened was that indeed and in fact he confirmed that. But the good news for you as counsel is that the tape should be played. When the tape is so played, you'll be listening, and your clients will be listening, and you know what to do. If anybody should shoot a question here which you think is self-incriminating, which the law does not permit that somebody should answer I mean, anything that is self-incriminating. You know what to do. You have a conference with your your client, and then you raise a requisite objection. But now, I find it a bit surprising that a tape which has gone viral, you know, should spring a surprise on the one who was speaking on it. So, with the greatest of respect, I don't believe that your initial concerns, I mean, will do damage to what is happening. And guess what is happening here? It's going to be a very civil engagement. I do not see how you not having an advanced copy of the tape is going to do damage to the case of your client. Your client will have to listen and then answer the questions. The questions will not be anything so serious to spring a surprise on him. And I believe that we should proceed with this matter because, if you like, if it's a preliminary objection, I do not think that we should say we are not going to continue with this sitting because you need a lot of time to prepare for your defense. As a matter of fact, what should happen to you is that when you've listened to the tape and you believe that you don't have answers or you have challenges, we can give you space to do it. So, your objection is overruled with the greatest of respect. And we want to proceed with the listening of the tape. I'm sorry. And I'll give your indulgence to listen to the tape very well, and then the interrogation will start.
We are grateful for your ruling, Mr. Chairman. The basis for asking for the terms of reference, Mr. Chairman, was going to be the foundation for another objection we have before you. And Mr. Chairman did indicate that you have no objection to us having the terms of reference. And also, I also heard from the Vice Chairman the various terms within which you are to operate. Mr. Chairman, one of the terms of reference of this committee is to
So you have it already?
No, I don't have it. I don't have it.
So
based on what the Vice Chair said,
okay.
Yes, which I know is on record.
Okay.
And we will proceed from there. Based on the terms which were read out by the Vice Chairman, the one that concerns us most is the fact that the committee is required to recommend sanctions to persons found culpable where appropriate. So obviously, we see the committee to be one way or the other determining the rights of the persons who are going to appear before them. So, Chairman, this will take us to the composition of the committee itself. We have also gathered from the news some members of the committee who have made comments which we consider to be prejudicial, even before the matter was started. We specifically refer to the comments made by Member of Parliament for Wa West, Mr. Peter Lanchin Tobu. Honorable Peter Lanchini Tobu. I'm sorry if I'm not getting the name right, but this is, yeah. It's reported on Ghana Web. Yes. Mr. Chairman, if you're under indulgence, I may read the reportage I have here. I may tender for the committee's consideration, if necessary. The Member of Parliament for Wa West
Peter Lanchini Tobu, says hellfire awaits police officers whose names were mentioned in the IGP's attempted elimination leaked tip. He was emphatic that those individuals will regret ever choosing the police as a profession. And he continues, his comments come on the back of a leaked audio in which a police commissioner is heard plotting for an unknown former executive of the ruling national NPP, the removal of the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare. Peter Lanchini Tobu, who is a former police officer, told NEAT FM's morning show, Ghana Munti, that an officer found guilty will be harshly dealt with. This is a disgrace, and they will regret it, he said. Mr. Chairman, we know Parliament is a master of its own rules. Yes. However, when Parliament sits in a manner that affects the rights of a citizen, that sitting ought to be construed as such. And in a situation where you have the person coming to determine the rights of the individual, making comments before he even heard that individual, we are very alarmed that in the situation where sanctions or recommendations are supposed to be made, the honourable member had already made his mind, even before he heard anything from anyone. So, Mr. Chairman, we are bringing this objection to its inclusion of the committee. And like I said, you are masters of your own rules. You may decide the way your rules determine, but on record, this is our objection to its inclusion. Secondly, we also have a publication attributed to the Vice Chairman. And also to shorten it, there is also a publication, the Ghanaian Standard. The Vice Chairman is reported to have also stated, the actions of the one behind the audio, for me, pass for treason. Pass for treason, yes. And this matter must be dealt with as such. It is an attempt to subvert the will of the people in 2024. So, in sum, this is what he also said in one publication at the Standard. Yes. So, Mr. Chairman, we are before you. Our humble plea is that even before the committee starts its work, our clients are seen in the light of being treasonous. And also another member of the committee has promised hellfire on our clients, even before anybody was heard in this matter. So, Mr. Chairman, we make these observations and we, for your ruling in the matter accordingly.
Okay. I believe you are trying to churn out newspaper publications, is that not so? Okay, fine. So first of all, I would give opportunity to the members of the committee that you've just named for them to respond to the newspaper reportage, and then let's see how we proceed from there. So first of all, let me go to... Yes.
Social media, Ghana Web.
Yes.
And the other one is a newspaper.
Okay.
So let's have that.
Okay, there's one Ghana Web, and that one is also a newspaper reporter. So, Vice, you want to start or? No, let me go in the order in which she made the allegation. No, you take it easy. So let my brother here respond first, and then and the Vice will respond. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Let me first of all welcome the senior police officers and their lawyers who have just appeared before us. I am hearing these words for the first time. And for Ghana Web, I don't know who they are and where they are. If you are talking about social media, I'm sure we are all in this country. Sometimes they ascribe things to people, and when you read them yourself, you get shocked. And actually, I'm surprised with hellfire for whoever will do what. I can't just remember sleeping in a dream with these words coming out. But that notwithstanding, I've been a police officer before. I know what the rules and regulations are, and I'm a member of the committee. Over the days, what I have done personally to help the Ghanaian people appreciate what we are doing is to refer them to the terms of reference and what we've done so far. I even remember a point in time somebody asked me whether COP George Alex Mensah was going to appear before us. I said, I don't know. I only heard of Commissioner or COP Mensah. If he appears and happens to be the COP George Mensah that you know, it will be aired live, and all of us will be watching. This is a very transparent process. And as the terms of reference goes, it is not for me, Honorable Peter Lanchine Togo, to determine the kind of punishment to give to anybody. And this is just a fact-finding commission or committee.
Honorable Member, you are saying that this is not from you. This hellfire business, is that what you are trying to imply?
Honorable Chair, this hellfire statement attributed to me is not from me.
All right. So let's move on to the vice then.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. This committee is made up of members who have integrity. You see, Honorable Chairman, the statement attributed to me is purported to have been authored by a newspaper called The Standard. The Standard is a newspaper that I don't know of. Number two, the matter before us originated from a debate on the floor of the House in which I contributed. In fact, my contributions to the statement read by the Deputy Minority Leader was comprehensive. I canvassed for the idea of a probe. And I did make conditional statements. That one, we can't take things on their face value. We need to authenticate the tape. And those who, for instance, spoke in the tape, if we are able to establish that, in fact, they actually said the things that are captured on the tape, their conduct would pass for treason. They made treasonable statements. But there was a condition, subject to the establishment of the veracity of the content of the audio. And that is the exercise this committee is engaged in with the greatest of respect. Now, prior to the matter coming before Parliament in the form of a statement and the ensuing debate, I had spoken to the media. And the position I canvassed on the floor of the House was not any different. I called for a probe, given the seriousness of the content of the tape. I said there were compelling reasons why a probe should be instituted to establish the veracity or otherwise of what we were hearing, which had gone viral. I don't see how prejudicial that is. Additionally, Council talks about rights of witnesses and that this committee is going to determine the rights of witnesses. I disagree. determine the rights of witnesses in the sense of what? The imposition of sanctions. That is a clear misunderstanding of the mandate of the committee. And I deliberately referenced the terms of reference in my preliminary remarks that this committee has not got the power to sanction anybody. Ours is to make findings. When findings are made, those findings are subject to a further test at the level of the plenary, where final recommendations can either be accepted or rejected. When our recommendations are accepted, it means they would have passed a certain test. So in terms of sanctioning, that is an area that will be taken up by the Attorney General. Then all your rights are reserved. If you appear, you are charged, a court is going to give you the right to be heard. You would have the opportunity to defend yourself. It is for a court to establish the guilt or otherwise of, the witnesses. If eventually our work results in the making of recommendations, which eventually leads to the preference of charges, you have the right to appear before a court of competent jurisdiction, which, of course, would respect all your rights, the rights to fair trial, etc., etc. That's it. So I'm not prejudiced in any way, Chairman, with the greatest of respect. This attempt to reconstitute the committee is unacceptable. It's a mandate vested in the Speaker, and the Speaker did just that. The members were carefully chosen to do justice to the issues, and we must respect that.
Okay, so, Council, you've heard, what they put forward. There is a denial of this hellfire from one of them. My vice was saying that there was a debate which preceded the referral and the constitution of this committee. So the House floor matters, the privileged dimension of that somebody raised the matter and he contributed. So there were conjectures, if you care to know, that if these matters are true, then they will have treasonable consequences and the rest of them. But be that as it may, the Speaker thought it wise that he should be part of the committee. See, so we will not sit here and try to overrule the Speaker as to the composition of the committee. But let me tell you something which is very, very, very simple for you to comprehend. There is no incentive for anybody to do damage to anybody via the deliberations of the committee, so long as I remain the chairman. There is none of the witnesses here that I even know personally. And I can assure you that we are not going to damn anybody after listening to the evidence. As a matter of fact, it is the evidence that will even cause us to come out with any recommendations. So I'll crave your indulgence to trust this institution of Parliament and the judgment of the Speaker that in the face of what he said on the House floor, he should be the Vice Chairman. For us to do the fact-finding, that's what we are trying to do, which you can interfere and intervene. That is why we said the witnesses should come here with lawyers. So we are in the process of the fact-finding. What if all the fact-finding is in your favor? So I can understand your apprehension that probably because of some comments outside the powers of this committee or things which predated the setting up of the committee, you were a bit nervous that there was going to be prejudice. I can assure you that there's not going to be any prejudice. And what is going on here is not a kangaroo hearing. You see, everything is open for the consumption of the general public.
And we owe you a duty of truth, that what you will not say, you are not going to report to the House floor that you said. Because all that we are doing, if you like, has audio evidence. That's what is going to happen. So please, I want to alleviate you of any issue of prejudice. And I don't see how I can sit here and ask them to recuse themselves because they are appointed. It's not the chairman. It's the speaker who, in the face of some of these concerns, said he should be the vice. But this gentleman's own is saying that he doesn't even connect with that weird statement that there will be hellfire. But if he thinks, even if he thinks it's hellfire, would it be the thinking of everybody here that should be hellfire? So these are my observations concerning what you said. You've made some very valid points, but I do not believe, given our remit and the pleasure of the speaker, we should be able to change issues because of newspaper reportage and the rest of it. The substance is about to be rolled out. The real issues are about to be rolled out on oath. And what is more important than evidence on oath, rather than somebody's view of a matter via a newspaper or Ghana web or whatever web. So please, I want to assuage your fears that I do not believe that there is any malice aforethought and somebody wants people they've never known. Me, but for somebody mentioning their name, I've never met them before. I didn't know them. So please, Council, I want us to proceed and do your best job. As for the pre-sitting engagements in the media, I am not media rude. I don't believe anybody here is media rude. Is going to sort of pander to the whims and caprices of the media. But the pain is that it's like the evidence is not rolled out and you have apprehensions. What if the evidence is exculpatory of your client? What are you going to say? So, Council, if you want to reply, just say it. I will move on.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please proceed.
Yes. Thanks for your comments. We have no apprehensions whatsoever, just to also make the committee comfortable. Our point was on the appearance of bias or the likelihood of it. The honourable member for Wa West denied ever making that statement. Mr. Chairman, I conferred with my client. The invitation to this committee was only given to him on Wednesday. So when these issues came up, for us to be able to provide further proof of this statement, it became difficult to get those audios. We are able to procure the audios of the statements which have been made by the two members for the committee's consideration. And we are in your hands in that regard.
Okay. So, be that as it may, whatever evidence that you have, which will go to show that probably these individuals are not qualified to sit in this matter, let's have the evidence. Right. But bear in mind, they are not the appointer. The matters will be referred to the appointer, and then a decision might be taken one way or the other. But as it stands now, I would advise you that give the best legal industry you have in relation to what is about to be played out, and let's see how it proceeds. And bear in mind also, as my vice rightly said, the matters that will come out of this committee, which will be part of the literature of what we do, will be sent to plenary, where the whole of the House will debate. And even if it is said that somebody should be sanctioned, It is not binding on the powers that be, if you get to know. And if there is anything that somebody wants to do, you know how to challenge it. And I think you should bear these factors in mind. But right now, as we sit here, it's like they say in my language, you see, so give us opportunity, let it roll out, and we'll see. But as I sit as the chairman here, and I know the members of this committee, I do not believe there can ever be malice aforethought. And I won't permit it. I don't believe that this is a forum for me to run down senior police officers or invent evidence against them. I don't think anybody here would do that. So I'll crave your indulgence that give us all the evidence you have concerning the voice, the voice messages of those members. But I come back to my initial point. The raw material of this investigation is the tape. Listen to the tape very well as a lawyer. The people you represent are senior police officers. They have a lot of, police intelligence and all forms of. They should also listen carefully. Raise an objection if you believe that a question being fired from a member is self-incriminating. Do that. We'll give you the space to confer with your clients, even before they answer questions. You have all the opportunity to do what is you know best to do. I don't have to tell you. But trust me, this committee will never shortchange, the officers here. Not when I'm here. They will never be shortchanged. Nobody will mess up with their career by what we will cook, because we are not interested in cooking anything against somebody. We will never do it as a committee. It's the bare, raw facts that we'll put together and bring it to the House floor. So this is what I want to say. And on this note, I invite the clerk to initiate the playing of the tape. And it should be well amplified so they listen in, and then we proceed.
Mr. Chairman, we are grateful for your ruling. Playing of the tape. That is so. That is so. Mr. Chairman, we will, from the letter which my client received, yes, he is supposed to respond to a leaked tape. Yes. Yes. So we want to know the source of the tape which the committee is about to play for our client to consider.
Okay, so yesterday, was it? Hold on. The first hearing, yes. You know the rule of evidence, which says that evidence will be looked at irrespective of the source. Do you know that rule of evidence? How it was obtained is of no consequence to the materiality of the evidence. You see, so please, that is a matter that I should weigh strong on your consideration.
Oh, you are going to section 50.
It's fine. And what is critical, at the last sitting, a witness was here. A chief, is called Mr. Bugri Nabu. So we did what was right and requisite. We just played the tape in order to get into the issue of authenticity and validity of the tape. And he confessed that he did the taping. And he also brought to our attention that the gentlemen in front here are associated with the tape. And some of the voices are their voices.
which became important, that we should invite the voices on the table here. That is how it began. So as to, first of all, how we got the tape, we don't owe it to your, your good self, to go into those matters. Because the law is very clear that when evidence is before any panel or court of law, and it's good evidence, the source is of no consequence. Then you should also know by now, the tape has gone viral. Are you aware of that fact?
Certainly, that's our fear. That's definitely our fear.
Yeah, because before we sat to interrogate the matter, the tape was in the public domain. Was that not so?
There were tapes in the public domain.
Okay.
We have not taken time to listen to all the media outlets of which tape they are playing.
Okay. You will listen to one which is before us, and that will suffice. Understand? Because we don't have 5 tapes. What we have is only one. And that tape that came to us has been authenticated. The man made a positive judicial confession because he also swore on oath that he even went further than the voice that I did the taping. He said so. What more do we need than to invite those whose voices are on the tape to appear before the committee and then say whether it's a valid representation of them or not, whether these voices are theirs or not. So this is where we are going, and I'm still open to your concerns. Okay, Vice Chair wants to speak here.
Yes, Honorable Chairman, the objection raised goes to admissibility, and we want to point it out very clearly to Council that this committee considered the issue of admissibility and actually proceeded to admit the tape. That is the crux of the chairman's position, the views he has expressed. So I think we have gone beyond that stage.
Yes.
We took into account the constitutional provision, Article 18.2, which deals with privacy rights versus public interest issues. I think we have outlined when we presented the terms of reference to you that the issues that are supposed to be investigated and findings made partly border on conspiracies to remove an IGP, etc. That is a matter of public interest. We considered decisions of the Supreme Court, Raphael Kobaji, before arriving at our decision to admit the tape. I mean, that is for your consumption. And so we dealt thoroughly with the issue of admissibility of the tape and found that it was admissible in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of our country. Thank you, Chairman.
So, Council, I can see that your clients are very, very excited about your interventions, you know, and you are worthy of your high. You are truly worthy of your high. So, without malice aforethought, let the tape be played. And it's so clear, if you have any objections after the tape has been heard, you have your right to do so. So, please commence, the playing of the tape to the hearing of everybody.
Long time. Hey, I know you are on. I told him. You don't do time class. You are. That is you are in the. We call you for Thanks.
We want to give somebody time.
Yeah, you might be there.
We'll be waiting for you.
Yeah. Since we met in that smart season, we haven't met.
Yes, we have met.
Yes, so, well, our discussing Commander also came, Asari. And I was even thinking that you were talking for different person. You know that the whole person that that's old, and that's good. Well, I went far. That's apparently you are not the only one, because there's another 2 other people are also working. And really a woman. So, discussing with the big man himself 1 or 2 times. The last time was last Sunday. She said to be traveling. Do it. Same thing, you can't do it alone. Get some people, not immediately from the place, but some people who are working with children on that level. They don't take their time in doing themselves. Once they do it later, they regret. So, I was asked the very careful because what they thought was good to me is not like a century back. Committing sex. And I also told you the other time, you know, sex issue, we don't just use it for contact and relations with lack of I was doing that because we were born retirement, maybe man to me, it doesn't matter. See, you are your physical, okay, you're confident into what you want to do. Take power. That's for you to try and know that can't take that you're not taking.
that is my only problem. I wish to interrogate David Bartel that this current IGP, if we make the mistake and take him to elections, take him to the elections, to not help us. To not help us at all. And I will not even mind if the position is not given to me, but that man is changed. Because we will not compromise. We will not compromise at all. At all. We will not do that. We will not let some people do this. We will not do that at all. I know that others are also looking for this position. If I don't get this man is changed, and those people that we think they are our men, yes, I will not be our second. Once we need to we need to break the age. We need to do it. Not you. Because I wouldn't want doctor to come and then we lose the relationship. Hey, doctor, give me the position, give me the place. Well, this IGP is not correct. It won't help us. And that's because you have done politics, you know. Elections is not just. Sometimes elections contract work is inside. No, sometimes. I'm just about that one. But that work is inside, not on sometimes. It's not sometimes, it is. And this man sitting down up there will not help our party to do anything. A party will give you IGP. Give him out. Look at this assembly. Every police officer to assemble up now. Including all the big men in that before all go to assemble. What are you going to do? So everywhere police will be there. So how do we do about this? How do we make that mistake at all? You know about it. Just correct my numbers. Media I've made members since long time before I even joined the service. And now we need, because if we don't bring the age, that is my useless. That is my only objective. Anybody I meet, I tell them that we need this man, can't help this man. Can't help. But why do you put the note of it down? Said it to living members. We told them that we would regret. And they told they thought because we also parted the position, that's why we are destroying. But when they started arresting party people, that's what they showed up in. People we said, yes, we told you. And we didn't listen. You are so sitting now, watching. You watch and go to position from the mosque. No. Call back there. get somebody else to supervise these elections we need to do. Because as you speak, this IG is not good, he is not fine with the military officers.
Not fine
with military men. He's fighting the American armed forces.
Why?
No. You find out. In the army officer is your friend, call you and ask him yourself, how do you see this IG? He will tell you. That they are arresting military class, communist class. Yes. Find out yourself.
Be serious.
Yes.
You are the commanders of our armed forces.
Find out.
Why should you do so?
No. I don't know, but some pride.
But me, I also blame people like you who know what's going on.
Like you tell people, because I didn't know you, so I cannot just get up and come to you and then tell you things. But those that you know, you tell them. But when you tell them, they think, oh, that's not, maybe it's because you wanted to be IGP and they didn't give it to you, that's why you shame you. So when you tell the person, he decides not to listen, just pull your arms. It's not you.
But me, I will touch the same because he was a party member.
He has never been a party member. Anybody who says who doesn't know him. This was the way he come to the late president, Professor Atanas. This kind of IG was the ADC to Professor Atanas. How can a party member become ADC to Professor Atanas? No way.
Me, I don't know this. I don't know how I told them. They knew all. But he said he was MPP strong.
Because he was born great at Citi.
But he's not a Chibi man.
No, he's not known.
What is it?
The father comes from Kobo. The mother is from Otivi.
The mother is from what?
Otivi. Otivi. From Otivi. Yes.
Oh,
the mother is a Otivi.
The mother is a Otivi.
And the father is from
Adam.
Kobo. I was born bred
Chibi.
Can you disclose that he was Professor Atanas?
Close friend.
Immediately Atanas won the elections and he was given appointment as the Director General of Finance at the police.
He was the Director
General of Finance for 7 years. When Atanas died, last time he was still the Director General of Finance.
Citi TV is live on DSTV. Find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117. And on HD Plus, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV. Citi TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD Plus boxes. Citi TV, it's your world.
For the ultimate corporate sports gathering, the Citi Business Olympics 2023. Get ready to unleash your competitive spirit and showcase your athletic prowess as we bring together the best of the best from the corporate world. From traditional sports like seven-a-side football, basketball, sack race, and volleyball to unique challenges like tug of war and arm wrestling, there's no shortage of excitement and adrenaline-pumping action. So gather your colleagues, lace up your sneakers, and get ready to compete in the Citi Business Olympics. It's time to show off your skills, build connections, and have a blast in the ultimate corporate sports extravaganza. To register your company to participate, call 0205-973-973 or 0558-973-973 now. Which company will emerge as champion and which CEO will win the ultimate CEO's challenge at the Citi Business Olympics 2023? We will find out on the 30th of September 2023. Venue, Eden Heights Sports Complex, wager, time 8 a.m. The Citi Business Olympics 2023 is powered by Citi TV with support from Citi FM and proudly sponsored by Unicom Chemist Limited and EK Brand Consult.
The point of view.
Cabinet ministers have been accused of sabotaging a major government program, which almost every day was in the news. How come we haven't heard anything until after the interview and then we are told that this should be investigated?
With the complexities of the issues happening around us on a daily basis.
Bernard, we are not in a good place. We're not in a good place because we don't have access to the international capital market.
It's the hard-hitting conversations on the point of view.
MPP and the NDC have had a consensus about economic policy. The fight really has been about who will be in power and who will be sitting at the edge of the trough and helping themselves and their associates.
And the probing questions of the point of view.
How many times have I even showed the world's most expensive hole? Why can't they tell us the exact amount? And why is it that what they told Parliament is not less than $1 million?
The twisted entanglements of politics and governance.
There's nothing wrong for a politician to address national issues and also respond to critics.
As well as religious and social discourse.
I think that people are entitled to their own opinion on issues. And so when the president said, I want to build a national cathedral, people can have their own opinion on matters. But let us pray that God will bless this economy so that we can have our roads built and the cathedral built.
The point of view brings you the policymakers and duty bearers and drills down to the very bottom of issues.
As part of your budget for the year is a line item that says what? Electricity.
Yeah.
So what's your reason for not paying?
The economy.
How can the economy be a reason? What about us?
The point of view airs every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. only on Citi TV and is sponsored by Belpac. Belpac, just perfect.
At IGI, he's a fully intellectual one. You think he can work through? You know the conversation level. Because you is not, maybe you find out yourself, he's not in good tempo. Like, he, not because of he's not a good guy. Like, you find out if you are close to Dr. Bob. I'm not Dr. Bob, find out yourself. Find out yourself. Because you know that Dr. Bob maybe is not recommending him about it. You know,
did two everything for a portion of the vehicle of so he knows. So he knows that the woman is our now. Yeah, sure. And Dr. Omar knows that if taking 2 lessons, you have difficulties. Right? You will find our mind is not correct. It's not commanded to kill no. No, man, it's not coming. No, I called him and told him that I'm here. You know why? Sorry. Sorry. Hey, I'll check up on, huh? Okay, well, I like the accounts of that's my fear. That the elections, why is my going to help us? That's why. He can't help us. He won't. He won't. He won't. He won't to make sure that everything is fair. It is. You don't go to elections like that. No. Don't do elections. No, at all. He says, because elections is more like a polling station. Yes. So whatever you need to do at the polling station, exactly. And the state will have a role to play. Major role. Major. Without that, you can't do what you want. No. You can't. I'm over my man, I'm going to get what you're. Okay. You can help us. Correct. Kind of. At some of the places, important places, they are all easy. They are all intense. They are all easy. And I told the General Secretary, this is the opinion. The General opinion. I told him. You threw it away. Yes, it's away. I told him. And I said, you don't take it. You take the party to opposition and you investigate as a investigation is in use. But still, when you are power and you will help us to make it useless. I give you all the facts. So if they are aware, they are okay. They are aware. They are aware. When did you tell the general? About 2-3 weeks ago. Yes. Sure he does. Or you invited him? I met him when I told him to come and tell him. But what about the chairman? Chairman Ahmed. You don't know him. I know him, but because of the elections, you know, so for people who then they went to harm. So I've relaxed. I want them to finish the of prior elections. Because what they are, the number of policemen and those that they are even sent to that same level. I told one of my brothers, it's not doing properly. It's not correct. It's not correct. It's not correct. How can we take commissioners, about 6-7 commissioners, plus, you know, as I speak, the whole headquarters, all the commissioners are there. Why? You will move every pass all these strong FTC guys now and there. Anything they will help us, because they want their country from the ball. The only strong one. Abbas. Who's Abbas? Abbas, he's now in charge of FTP. Now, are you going to campaign or what? Me? No, but what are they doing there? They are the people he's working with. And these places are strategic places. They shouldn't make that rule that you do. That's what I'm saying. You don't change things, like you told us. I'll talk to you on how to bring there. I'll talk to the chairman and the general secretary master, and I will let him know that mention that. Tell him that I told you. Yes, I'll tell you. Because even if you want, you cannot people like NDC people. They don't know if they about what we Sunday. They should stay in the headquarters. So what is our plan? And they will rather destroy and destroy. No, now we are making a mistake. Pick one. Pick one. Pick one. For this are signal elections is very critical. Whatever we need to do to win, we have to do it. And that's one people are trying to realize that it's not going to be easy for us. But these and these people, they know what they are about. They know what they are about. Because why they insist that the man will have to meanwhile the court case hasn't been. That's another issue. That's another issue. So I think what you are saying, you are right. But we should have selected some of our own people for them. So that we work with the party. They go over there and they know how to produce. Because this man don't know what is he going to do. Somebody you just go in there to make sure that everything is done. Okay. And elections are like it. You don't win elections like that. It's all man one. So you said, Jack. Maybe you told me that he did say, I said, always tell people elections, you don't win elections too fair. Tell me no worries. Come on, no worries. Somebody come. Come on.
Let me check. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Where are you?
I'm in Germany.
But why? I discussed something with you after I haven't told me anything.
Yes, so German, I've been very busy in other countries, that is why. I want Allah to win, and I will make sure that my father, I will send you to America for them to research. Man who sells their trousers. I'm going to have you one. You really have a son.
You say what?
Yes, but they are far away from you.
Who you
are keeping very well.
But what you say, I don't agree with you. I cannot go with Alan. I was with Alan before all of you. Yes. Oh, no. No. You have to. Bawumia is the best. It is your own brother, your own uncle, your own brother, your own uncle. Let me tell you something. We foreigners reject what we have too much.
People like somebody
No, I think what have they done? They can't do anything. Now they fail. You after you see that they fail in the region, they fail in the region, they fail in their own. So forget about them, we'll push them out and take over.
We said it, push them out there. But you don't push them out. When you come to the body, they will release your brain again. So that's a problem.
Let me tell you something. But will be changing its original campaign. And these people we are not going to, they are not going to be in front line. Samba, Resi, Agenda, Ghana, or whatever. You will not be in the front line. You will not make that mistake. So I am nominating you to be one of the organizers of your campaign. Okay? Then Alaji Hindu will be a coordinator general. So you don't worry at all. Everything is going to change.
Okay.
With my advice, I will change everything. Okay? Yes, I beg you.
You have project with Habib?
Yes. Yes.
He wants to buy your house.
But I don't have his number.
I will take his number to you. He wants to buy your house.
Okay.
He said if you agree $1 million, he will pay.
Oh, 1 million too small, boy. So you don't worry about even the building on you. Think about the strategic the land. He can put up about 12.
How much you want it?
Let him give me 2.5, then I'll add some money and buy another house somewhere.
That's my share, Chama, my share.
I'll give you something. Oh, if you tell it for me in that way, I'll give you 5%.
5%, okay. Then I'll talk to you and give his number to you.
Okay, give the number to me now.
The commissioner has Commissioner, I'll WhatsApp it to you.
Okay. Who told the commissioner?
Hey, my boss.
He has come early.
Yes.
He came before you. We have to wait for you. We are right.
He's my big brother and my boss.
Yes. We are talking, we are conversing nicely. And I think you are the one of the people, you know, the way you were, the second time you came, when we talked, and I left for the president's house, then while I was at the president's house, I called you. The way you spoke to me for more than 1 hour, that was the day that I said, no, this man knows what he's about. And you see, people think that because I've helped the man before, at times they don't want to open up. You see that day we were talking, somebody told you that I was given the contract by him. What? Maybe he was somebody from the presidency. Oh, yes. I heard it. I was surprised. Never. Even he doesn't know my company name. At all. At all. One day I'll tell you something. You'll be shocked. I'll tell you something. You'll be shocked. But you see, when you are with somebody, and the person thinks that it's everything, you tell them what happened. You will see. I'm telling you, if you can be Oh, Angel.
What is Angel?
No, Angel.
I see a commissioner of the DD. Put the way in bomb. Then I'm a
my one.
White.
My one. My one night. Yesterday was Sunday. Saturday, my 2 bomb happened.
Thank you.
So we can just make a plan call. My 2 bomb back.
She said, the DH great man. So on kind of great.
What's it?
You see, she said, President, the DH man.
Yes.
So kind of, he has not been telling you.
Yes.
About the man. Tell President what he's doing. And then we need another office. It's on media. What's it for now? Everybody has put a blame on the DH. Okay. The DH and the man like this. He has been the cause for all these problems. So I like to me, I want to hear something. What should I say?
Absolutely.
And he's the one, as I've already told you, that every policeman wants,
yeah. There are, apart from him, there are 2 other office commissioners who are also having their people working.
I know. Yes. And next time, Mami too.
But after Mami,
now it's out.
it's not looking him. He may be that man. They have put their name to some place to get some other issues that will have to. So that they establish the information to be good order to do what? Intensive. The man traveled this morning.
Was it yesterday or this one?
Other yesterday dawn. This one at 8 or 8:40. So that they is traveling. Today is what he did. And he was on the travel today. But it could be just yesterday night or afternoon. When you come back with something. Come back with something.
So I should go and look for my white dress.
But you know, I will. I told him, you cannot please doesn't hold any contracts to the rules spiritualities.
It also goes
spiritualities.
Okay.
That kind of position doesn't just go contact, but contact is more than spirituality.
Allah is spiritually you are the controller.
Yes. But there are certain things I cannot use my own self to do it. You understand me? So I love people in my hand that yes, we are working, but you should not sit down and say we are working. That's this cannot job. It's like presidents, like chief of defense staff, army commander. These are the people who control both money and the country affairs, and they need to be back as spiritual. The way they are going to do this, I am not again.
You and I were not there.
If we can't do so, Chief, help me. I know what to do. You can look at it 3 times. To sit down and work. And if even to go further, go and see certain vision. Since I was born, I've never failed. Since I was born, I've never failed. I've never slept in the classroom before. I've never. Yeah. I've been the regional chairman of Contractors Association of the Apology, but then apology, not apology. I became regional chairman for Lord Medicaid. I became Red Tamarind Practice for People. Chief Medicaid. The late Ali Mama was my life. I wanted to have a meeting. I became Lord Regional Chairman. I am member of the National Council. You understand the National Council position? We are for the last
decision making body.
And I've never been disgraced in my life. Can I sit down and say, what you are looking for from President IGP? IGP, I got things on. So, we shouldn't just sit down and say, well, I'm a Christian. Or I'm a Muslim.
It's a food for thought.
I thought by now you would have come back to me. So they could help me. Help me. Yes. People like I'm not hiding. I was even surprised. When you were here, you are coming. When you came and mentioned him, what did I feel?
Precisely the same thing. That was it.
We come back. Like two boys. The old man. Your boys.
the press secretary.
They are always instructions. A large cuts. Now listen to them. Go to what is that place office. You do not
I didn't get that portion.
do not let them sign
Yes.
that the president made.
Well, that's what you're doing.
I last spoke to the mayor about it.
Are you himself?
Yes, it's my silver. And I spoke to him. That he said, I should tell you the mayor. Yes. Move. Physically and spiritually. I know why.
You're powerful. You're very They're going to start.
In the last 20 minutes, yes.
That's good.
We will talk about the arrangement.
That's good, yeah.
So, I can use our money to keep. Somebody should contact
It's time for the ultimate corporate sports gathering, the Citi Business Olympics 2023. Get ready to unleash your competitive spirit and showcase your athletic prowess as we bring together the best of the best from the corporate world. From traditional sports like seven-a-side football, basketball, sack race, and volleyball to unique challenges like tug of war and arm wrestling, there's no shortage of excitement and adrenaline-pumping action. So gather your colleagues, lace up your sneakers, and get ready to compete in the Citi Business Olympics. It's time to show off your skills, build connections, and have a blast in the ultimate corporate sports extravaganza. To register your company to participate, call 0205-973-973 or 0558-973-973 now. Which company will emerge as champion and which CEO will win the ultimate CEO's challenge at the Citi Business Olympics 2023? We will find out on the 30th of September 2023. Venue, Eden Heights Sports Complex. Wager, time 8 a.m. The Citi Business Olympics 2023 is powered by Citi TV with support from Citi FM and proudly sponsored by Unicom Chemist Limited and EK Brand Consult.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Did you ever tell the chief, Mr. Bugri Nabu, that JB should be the one who will lead him to the Jubilee House?
Mr. Chair, that is a palpable lie.
That's a palpable lie. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. JB, did you have any conversation with the chief, who is also called Mr. Bugri Nabu, that you were going to take him to the Jubilee House and he was waiting for you?
No, Mr. Chairman.
So, if there are phone records, have you ever called Mr. Bugri Nabu? Have you ever called him?
No, Mr. Chairman.
At all?
At all.
And you don't know him? You've not met him before?
No, I've not met him, and I don't know him. I've not met him before.
Oh, I see. That's interesting. Okay. Then, in the circumstances, I will leave the rest of the members to ask questions, but this is all I want to say for now. So, I think we should deal with Superintendent JB, and then when we finish, we will leave him to go, because it doesn't feature on the tape, and he's also denying that there was a prior arrangement in which Mr. Sari had arranged that he would take Mr. Bugri Nabu to the Jubilee House. So members of the committee, if I have questions for Superintendent JB, just ask your questions. Let me begin from my brother on my right. Do you have any questions for the gentleman? Yeah, start. Or if you don't want to start, anybody will start. Yes. Anybody can start, you know, this is not.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. As the Chairman put it before we started, this is a fact-finding committee. We've met our prime witness before, Chief Bugri Nabu. And I think that there was premise on that Superintendent Emmanuel JB was invited. Superintendent JB, have you ever not called, have you ever spoken to Chief Bugri Nabu on phone?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Have you ever had an appointment with Chief Bugri Nabu at Afrikiko to go to Jubilee House?
No, Mr. Chairman.
If phone records are produced, will you be surprised?
I'll be surprised.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman.
Who is next? Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I think from the responses Chief Naba gave to some of the questions posed to him when he appeared before this committee, clearly it was Commander Asare,
yes,
who mentioned to him that he will be traveling and that he will want Mr. JB to accompany him to the president. And so obviously there was no direct communication between Mr. JB and then Chief Nabu, but it was Commander Asare from what I've read so far.
We wouldn't know. They should tell us. We wouldn't know. You see, because what is being said is that there was the necessity for Chief Bugri Nabu to go to Jubilee House. And Superintendent Asare is making arrangement for Superintendent JB to meet him at Afrikiko, so they go. But if he doesn't know anything about this arrangement, he should say so. Aha.
Then my question goes to Superintendent JB.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever discussed with Commander Asare that you accompany Chief Nabu to the to Mr. President for some discussions?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. JB.
You're finished. No,
Oh.
Have you ever spoke on phone to Mr. Commander Asare? I mean, Subsequent JB, this is a question to you. Have
Yes.
you spoken to Commander Asare on phone on
Yes.
this particular matter?
When my attention was drawn that my name had been mentioned, so I called him that this is what I've heard. Then he also told me he's unaware of whatever is being told. It's a palpable lie. He doesn't know the source, he doesn't know where my name came up in this matter.
So on that Sunday, on one Sunday, I think Chief Nabu called you personally and then arranged to meet you at Afrikiko. Was that also not done?
No, Mr. Chairman, but I remember on the 2nd of July, last month, just last month, July or 9th of July, I had lost my senior nephew. So I was in a program in Koforidua for that funeral. The place was noisy, even though it was sorrowful, issue. And when I picked my phone, I realized there had been series of missed calls. I had made several calls. So I started calling back when I stepped out. Nobody picked the missed calls that I called. And then later, I saw another call coming again. Among those I have seen, I have missed, and I've called back and nobody picked. And then I remember telling the person, I'm not in Accra. I'm not in office. So when I come to Accra, we'll talk. I'll call you back. That's all. That was either second. I don't have the brochure or the program for the funeral. I would have been very specific of the exact date, weekend. Either 2nd of July or 9th of July, last month.
But when Chief Nabu appeared, he mentioned that on that Sunday, he called you and you indicated that you were in Eastern region, as you have rightly said, Koforidua, and that when you come, you will see him. Is that not what happened?
I don't know him, I don't have his number, and I've not met him before. So how would I know that it was this person I was speaking to? As I said,
you want to ask a senior police officer? Listen. You have found a lot of missed calls on your phone. And now there's a voice call reflecting some of the missed calls. So who is on the line? Who did you want to ask? You don't know somebody, but you are just talking on phone? Is that what you want to tell the committee?
No, Mr. Chairman.
So who were you talking to that you didn't know?
I tried calling back the missed calls that I had received.
Yes.
And none of them picked. But when I went back to the program, whilst it was going on, another call came, reflecting one of the previous calls that I had missed. And because I was still in the program, I remember telling the person that I'm not around. So when I'm in a program, when I'm done, I'll call you back. And I never called the numbers back again.
So when you said, I'm not around, what was the meaning? I'm not around. Somebody was calling you. You didn't know exactly where the call was coming from. And you said, I'm not around. What does that mean?
Meaning I was in a program and I thought even the noise, the background noise could not have even made me to find out exactly what the person was calling me for.
Did you have an idea that the person was calling from outside in the eastern region? Because when he said, I'm not around.
I didn't have any idea that the person was, that individual was calling from outside eastern region.
And after the program, you didn't bother to call that number which had been calling severally to ascertain what the reason was. As a police officer, probably there was a danger somewhere and the person wanted to draw your attention to it. So having called severally, I thought that after the program, you could have called to find out what was happening.
I didn't call back, Mr. Chairman, because as I said, there were other calls. Those I called back, and they did not also call back. I didn't continue calling them. But this one, when he called back, and because I was within that funeral program, and I couldn't have spoken at length or to find out, I just responded that I'm in a program, I remember. When I'm done, I'll call back. But I did not call back again.
Now, let me find out from you. I'm sorry. The missed calls you had on your phone, did they include calls from Superintendent Asari?
No.
Do you know Superintendent Asari's number? Do you know?
Yes, I do, Mr. Chairman.
And you are insisting that you've not had any previous conversation with Superintendent Asari in relation to Chief Bugri Nabu and Afrikiko, then the two of you to Jubilee House. There's never been any conversation like that?
No, Mr. Chairman. There had never been any such conversation.
Very good.
Superintendent JB, have you ever spoken to someone on Asari's phone who claims to be Burinabo?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, let me go to the ex-senior police officer. Do you have any questions for your colleague? Is there anything you want to ask?
Mr. For now, my questions have been asked by members already.
Thank you. Let me go to my colleague at the bar. Any questions for Superintendent JB?
Superintendent JB, I'd like to know where you operate from. Where do you work from?
Mr. Chairman, I'm at the CID headquarters. I'm the currently Director of Cybercrime and Child Protection Digital Forensic Laboratory.
And you know Superintendent Asari very well?
Mr. Chairman, he is my direct mate, and we are friends, and we have also stayed in one barracks briefly, and then currently where I stay, he was one of the commander, district commander there, so I usually used to call him landlord.
So the answer is yes. Do you know Superintendent Asari very well? Say yes. Then you explain why you know him. So the answer is yes.
I know him, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. You've said it all. I'm saying that the answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You said Superintendent Asari was a district police commander. Is he still the district police commander?
No.
Where does he operate from at the moment?
Currently, he's also at the CID National Police Headquarters at the Protocols Unit.
The IGP is your boss. I mean, that is obvious, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Do you have reasons why the IGP must not be at post as the IGP?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have any reason. And he's my boss, and I know I've also been working hard to achieve the vision of the police administration, to support him.
Now let's talk about the alleged invitation extended to you to accompany Buri Nabu to see the president. I want to be clear. Do you stand by your earlier statement that the numbers that were recorded on your phone on the day of the funeral you attended in Koforidua, those missed calls were not marked as in, in terms of having the names appearing against the numbers? Is that your argument?
That is true, Mr. Chairman.
Follow-up question, yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, when Chief Nabu appeared, he made an emphatic statement before this committee that he is a chief and he doesn't lie. Now, he indicated that even on that Sunday, you had agreed to go to the president with him, but later said he should go and then you meet him. Are you saying that that is not true?
That is not true, Mr. Chairman.
A question from our lady here, then I'll come to you, sir.
So, Mr. JB, I think you've answered most of my questions, but I am a bit surprised. So tell us, why do you think someone would just drag your name into this, whereas you have no idea about any meetings that had gone on to see the president on the IGP's case?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm equally surprised. That is why I called Mr. Sari, and then he also explained to me that nothing of such nature has happened, and it is all false and lie.
All right, so Honorable Boama, you had the floor.
Thank you, Chairman. Superintendent Jebi, you've confirmed to this committee that you placed a call to Superintendent Asari on your return from Koforidua.
No, Mr. Chairman, I did not say that.
But you just told the committee that you called Mr. Asari on this issue.
Yes, I said I called Mr. Sari when I heard that my name has been mentioned, that I'm part of the people who were arranging to meet Mr. President, the President.
So you called Mr. Asari?
That is true, Mr. Chairman.
Why did you call Mr. Asari?
When I heard that my name had been mentioned by a witness before this committee, that I was part of the people, or I was the person who has agreed to meet that witness at Afrikiko to accompany him to the president. That is when I called him, and then he told me that this has never happened, and he doesn't know why my name is being brought, and that they have even been invited early on before NIB, National Investigation Bureau, and my name was never mentioned. I have not been invited. So that is why I was so surprised that all of a sudden I'm hearing that this is what has happened, which is not true.
So you only heard your name being mentioned by a witness who appeared before this committee?
That is true, Mr. Chairman.
Did you give any evidence before the NIB?
No, Mr. Chairman, and as I said, I have not been invited by anybody, by the NIB, sorry.
How long was your conversation with Mr. Asari?
Mr. Chairman, I cannot tell exactly how long, the time stamp, but I told him this is what I've heard. Why is my name being mentioned?
Prior to this sitting or hearing, did you have the opportunity of listening to the tape?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Which aspect intrigued you?
Mr. Chairman, can you give me explanation more?
He said, which aspects of the tape intrigued you? Or excited you, or, I mean, got you concerned or worried or alarmed or?
My name that was mentioned.
You want to drink some water?
Mr. Chairman, there's a little pressure.
No, there shouldn't be.
I think that the question should be clarified.
Listen carefully. We are just questioning on the basis of his testimony. His name was never mentioned on the tape. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
Aha. Your name only came up through the testimony of Chief Abugri Nabu, who said that there's a prior arrangement that you had with Superintendent Asari, that you were the one going to take Bugri Nabu to Jubilee House. Simple. You get the essence of your own testimony. So when they say the tape, you know you were never mentioned, but your name showed up during the oral evidence of Chief Bugri Nabu at the last sitting. That's all. So don't confuse the two. There's no confusion at all.
Chairman, I'm just asking him. He just confirmed to this committee that he's had the opportunity of listening to the tape.
Yes.
And I want to find out what intrigued him
Yes.
when he listened to it as a senior police officer.
Yes. Please answer.
What intrigued me was the appointing authority of the president, and then the politics of police professional officers. We all have civil responsibility to vote, but as professional policemen, we know we cannot be involved in politics in any way.
Thank you. So you are aware of the policy guidelines, qualification for enlistment and entry points generally for the police service?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
And you believe it's being adhered to by the service?
Mr. Chairman, yes.
Nobody is being shortchanged in the service? with regards to promotion and other related activities?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
You are familiar with the Police Service Act, especially the provisions on misconduct. I think section 17 or chapter 71. Section 17, yes.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
So, you're listening to the tape. You heard the names of COP, Mensa, and Subtenant Asare.
Yes, I heard Commander Asare and Commissioner Mensa.
Did you also call Commissioner Mensa after listening to the tape?
No, Mr. Chairman.
What has been your working relationship with Commissioner Mensa over the years?
Mr. Chairman, I have not worked directly under COP Mensa, but I remember sometime last year, somebody had used his profile to defraud people under the pretext of enlisting them into the police service. And I supervised and directed that investigations, and all the people involved were arrested, and they are currently before the law courts. So during the investigations, I had the opportunity to listen to his side of the story and the follow-ups as the case, progressed.
Oh, so you have his phone number?
Yes, I have.
And that of the landlord?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Apart from calling Asare, he referred to Asare as the landlord.
Oh, okay. In terms of property matters, or is
being a district commander where he was.
Oh, okay. I thought he owned houses and rented.
No, Chairman. Which district command? Where was?
Marsabin Police District.
Okay. So apart from placing a call to him, you visited him on this matter?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Not to his office?
Yes, I've been to his office.
After the leak or before?
Before the leak.
And after?
I was visiting him in the office in respect of the case and then the follow-ups.
On this subject matter?
No, Mr. Chairman.
That's about all, Chairman. Thank you.
Very good. You see, you said something which is very interesting for me. No, these two officers, are they on your left, are they?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
You know their voices. You claim.
Yes, I know their voices.
You know their voices.
Yes.
Okay. So, Superintendent JB, I don't intend embarrassing you. What is the level of your education?
I hold DSc in computer science. BSc in computer science and postgraduate diploma in software development and international statistics.
Wonderful. So, Superintendent, this is how far we'll go for today, you know, and we thank you for attending upon the committee and also coming with your counsel. And we can only say you are released for now. If there are any residual issues that should bring you back to us, we'll do the needful and invite you. So thank you for coming, and you are discharged to go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, sorry to interject.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, the witness, Superintendent Asari, intends to use the washroom.
Oh, why not? Oh, why not? Yes.
Before you discharge Superintendent Jebi, please, do you have Truecaller on your phone? Truecaller. Head of cybercrime, do you have Truecaller?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. It's another question from my very good friend. Yes. What is the question?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I want to ask the witness. Prior to your trip to the Eastern region, Commander Asari traveled, and he is too close to you. Did he tell you he was traveling?
No, Mr. Chairman.
So, Superintendent Jebi, if there are no residual issues, I want to stress, if there is no need to call you again, we'll call you. But if it means that you should come back for us to dig further into the matter, we'll call you. But so far, you are discharged to go. And Counsel, where do you practice from? We've never met, you know, and we've not crossed fire in the courts.
That's so, Mr. Chairman. I practice from Gaugat Law.
Oh, lovely. Yes, I know him. Okay, fine. So thank you for coming. You are discharged.
Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Mensah, you also have the liberty to use the washroom if you want to. Yes. Yes, so let's take 10 minutes break and then we return. Yes, let's take 10 minutes break and return.
All right, so that's an ad hoc committee, 7-member ad hoc committee set up by the Speaker of Parliament to investigate an alleged plot to oust the current Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufo-Dampare. Now, the 7-member committee has 3 on both sides of the House, the majority and the minority. This committee has been sitting. This would be the 3rd sitting. We understand that the first sitting was adjourned because the prime witness in the matter, Damong Na Bugri Nabu, failed to attend to the invitation of the committee due to ill health. However, he did so early this week, and as part of his testimony, identified some 3 senior police officers who, well, according to him, are the voices or are the owners of the voices on that leaked tape. And so the committee subsequently did the needful and extended an invitation to these three police officers who today have appeared before the committee. Just gone past, one of them has been discharged pending no residual matters. The chairman of the committee, Samuel Atachia, has discharged Superintendent Emmanuel Jebi, who heads the Cybercrime and Child Protection Unit of the Ghana Police Service. He vehemently denied any involvement in the alleged plot and put it across that he has never met or spoken with Chief Bugri Nabu. The committee has taken a 10-minute break because there are two more officers who are yet to be interrogated or to be questioned by the committee. So once the committee resumes, we'll go back live to bring you proceedings from Parliament from that sitting of the ad hoc committee set up to investigate the matter of an alleged plot to remove the current IGP following a leaked tape. This is Citi TV. My name is Nanatufo Boateng. Stay with us. We'll be right back.